So at this point in time, we have all our video clips. As you can see, there's a total of 9 of them here. And I must say the final look came out great. Most of them are 5 seconds. I think we have one that's like 10 seconds, but this is the final look that we have. As you can see, very beautiful. So I'm just going to go through them quickly. I organized them here and I replaced basically the old ones with these new ones here with all the edits. So, you know, um, they look so much better now, so much cleaner. So there's been a lot of cleanup done here. But this is basically the final polished look of the video clips that we're going to be using. And I think once we start concatenating and constructing the video, it's all going to make sense. It's all going to connect together. And these video clips are going to complement each other. And that's the goal, is you want the flow of the video to make sense with the script that we've established, right? So these video clips are meant to demonstrate a commercial script, and they're meant to match what the narrator is speaking. So as the narrator is speaking over this, you'll be playing these video clips, and hence it's going to make for fully compatible video for a commercial. Now, speaking of voiceovers, that's actually going to be our next step right now. So you can't create the video, your commercial that is, until you've established the voiceovers. Now, there's a couple of ways to go about voiceovers. You can certainly create your own audio and then just lay it over the video clip in a video editing software, or you can use AI to generate a voice for you and your audio. So we're going to take that approach as part of our learning experience. And the way you're going to want to go about doing this is you refer back to your commercial script. In our case here, we have the iPhone 17 commercial script targeted for 60 seconds. And as you can see, I have the narrator's description. We're aiming for a deep and confident voice. At least that's what ChatGPT was recommending. So I think that makes sense, because you want something like, "The future isn't coming, it's here." That was my fair impression. But basically, the future isn't coming, it's here. So we want that. We want this right here, introducing the all new iPhone 17, and so on and so on and so on. So it looks like we're aiming for a total of 8 audio clips. Okay, so at the end, we should have 8 files for each of these audios here. So let's start. Well, the way we go about doing this is there's a couple of tools. The one I would suggest is ElevenLabs. It's great, and it also offers a ton of free opportunities to generate your voiceovers. So you're going to want to create an account. So sign up down here. In my case, I already have an account, so I just simply log in. So once logged in, this is the platform that you'll see, and it tells you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or what have you. And you're going to want to go to, well, so there's a couple of things. In order to pick a voice, you want to go to voices, right? But ultimately, we're going to end up going to text to speech, because that's the goal, is to take text and convert it to speech. But you can't really do that until you've selected a voice. So I already have a couple of voices that I've selected from my past, but I may not go with any of these, right? So here's what I do. I'm going to go to voices first and search for a voice that I like. Now, when you get to the voices tab here, what you want to do is select library on the top there. So click that tab, and that gives you access to the entire voices library here in ElevenLabs. And then you can filter what you like. So they have a couple filters here that you can select from. You can pick what language you want. You can, drop this down here and get more specific. So it all depends. So, I mean, for me, I'm going to aim for male gender. Let's see, category, I want a high quality. And age, mid-age is fine. And here's a minimum notice period. We don't care about that. But then here, what you can do is in this search box, you can enter in more specifics. I'm aiming for a deep and confident voice. So I'm going to type exactly that. Deep, confident, and enter that in. And here we go. We have numerous options to choose from. Now I can also, again, pick a language. So I do want to go for English. Okay. And yeah, these are basically some of the options that I can select from. So let's see what we got. I'll look at a couple of options. We'll listen to a few and see if any of them resonate.
It's not just about what's being said, it's about how it's told.
No. So you do want to go through a couple of them.
Ignite your passion. Chase the star.
No. I want like a deeper voice, more confident voice.
Once the great Tommy Shelby said,
I don't necessarily want the British accent in this case. I'm looking for more of like an American.
It doesn't matter if they think you can do it or not. What you think is all that matters.
So that is closer to what I'm looking for. If I can find something a little deeper, that'll be better. But I think I'm going to add this one for now just to have it. So that's Jerry. We'll keep that one in mind. Let's see if we have something else here. Now you can also select genres here. So let's click on advertisements, and that's related. And lo and behold, the one that actually comes up is Jerry. So maybe that one is our best bet. But I can also try social media here. I think this one we played already. And you can kind of search around. There's a couple of other options here. So let's try this one.
Carmela agreed with a nod of her head toward the...
And
If
this
life
one.
is a dream, let it be a good dream. Bring some warmth and hypnotic touch to your creations.
That one's
Use
not
deep
bad
Dave
either.
as you see fit.
That one's not bad either. So that's like a deeper voice. So we might be able to go with that one as well. I think one of those two makes sense. Deep Dave actually sounds pretty good. So it's a calm, collected voice, but I like Jerry's because it's more authoritative, right? But let's see this one here.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail.
Another
In
one
every
here.
story, there's... Carmela agreed with a nod of her head toward the young girl.
whilst many new voice talent had
Okay, so as you can see, there's numerous options to select from. Yeah, so either I think we'll end up going with Jerry or Deep Dave, but basically what you end up doing is you go to text to speech here. We'll go with Jerry since that is the one recommended for advertisements. So I'll click on that. And as a reminder, this is how Jerry sounds.
It doesn't matter if they think you can do it or not. What you think is all that matters.
So that's fine. That'll sound good for what we're trying to do. Now, once you select the voice, you can select, the speed, the stability, similarity, style exaggeration. So there's a couple of options to choose from. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab essentially our script here. So let's bring the script. All right, so let's see. Let's bring the script here and put it on one end. This is what I like to do. And put this on the other end here. And now this will allow us to essentially just take the script lines and paste them in here. And then I would just generate speech. So as you can see, there's a generate speech option right there. Okay, or I can just do Shift Enter and it'll give it to me as well. Now I'm not going to adjust any of these other ones right now. Speed, stability, similarity, no exaggeration, just generate. And let's see how it
The
comes out.
future isn't coming. It's here.
All right, so here we go.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Awesome. Now, maybe one thing I want to do is give it more pause between the future isn't coming, it's here. And if I wanted to do that, one little trick is to add a couple lines here. And then I'll regenerate.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
That's a little better. So there's a little bit more of a gap and a little bit deeper too. So I like this one. And if you like it, you can essentially just download it. So I'll take this here, and as you can see, there's a download button right there. So I'll download that. Okay. So the future isn't coming. It's here. And then I'll get the next one, which is introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more. So we take that and generate it.
Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more.
Excellent. All right, so we go ahead and download that. And yeah, you just basically keep going, right? Okay, so we move on. And we go to the next one here. A re-engineered 200 MP Pro Vision, and so on and so on. So generate the speech.
A re-engineered 200 megapixel Pro Vision camera with AI-enhanced night mode, because every shot should be picture perfect.
Honestly, these are coming out so good that I don't even really need to modify any of these configurations. But if you did want it a little bit slower, a little bit faster, you can play around with that. If you wanted more stability, I'm aiming for higher stability. But you can have it more variable. Sometimes having it less stable is actually a good thing because it makes it a little bit more exotic. It makes it a little bit different in terms of its style. Okay, so it helps. It all depends on what you're aiming for, right? The niche, the content that you're aiming for. Okay, so far so good. And then here we have this one. The display so immersive. Generate that.
A display so immersive, it moves at your speed, with a groundbreaking 240 Hz refresh rate.
Great. I mean, the speed that he's moving at, the flow is just perfect. So for this one right here, I'm probably going to aim for a slower rate. So let's bring that down a bit. Let's go to like, say, 0.85. I want it just a little bit slower, and let's generate that.
Security, redefined. Connectivity, limitless.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, obviously that's a lot better than him just saying security redefined, connectivity limitless, right? So it gives it more emphasis. And now what we can do is move on to our next one. We're getting close to completion here. As you can see, it's a pretty fluid process. So here we have power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. As I'm going through this, I'm imagining the video playing in my head, right? I'm thinking about the clips that we generated and how they're going to fit in to the speech, right? So power behind a minute. Okay, so this is the part where we're, going through the graphics, the game console graphics, right? The guy's playing the car game, the video game, right? So here, I think, yeah, the speed could probably go up again to, let's say like a 0.91, generate that.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
Perfect. So as you can see, I haven't played around with the style exaggeration, but let me just show you a quick demo of that. It can come out pretty finicky sometimes, but here, let me increase the style exaggeration to like, say 40% or so. Look at the difference.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
So it sounds different. You know what? It actually didn't sound too bad. I'm going to download it as well and compare for later. So let's download that. And then if I were to exaggerate this extremely, it could end up sounding funny. Let's see.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
So it actually came out okay. But I've seen cases where it would sound really strange. So you want to be careful with that. In this case, we got pretty lucky on that. All right, in any case, all day battery life, 0 rating. I would want to make this slow. Let's aim for even slower. So I'm going to go for 0.75 on that. Stability, let's keep it the same. I want it stable. Similarity, let's go for a little exaggeration. Generate.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
So, let's play it again. 0 waiting sounded a little different because it's exaggerated.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
Let's regenerate and make it a little bit more exaggerated.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
So as you can see, his tone is changing. So listen to that again.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
It's not bad. It's not bad. So we'll download that. But, again, you can play around with it. Let's make it, we'll keep it slow, drop the stability down a little bit, regenerate. I'm playing around with the configs.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
I don't really like the way he's saying 0 waiting. Let me get rid of the exaggeration completely.
All-day battery life, 0 waiting.
I like that one. So I'm taking it. So as you can see, I like to have more than one option for each one, just so that later I can survey them a little more and choose the one that I want best. All right, so here we're going for the last line. We want to aim for more of a soft yet impactful tone here. So iPhone 17, the future in your hands. Okay, so yes, stay slow, remain stable. The similarity, let's bring that down a little bit so that it goes off tangent somewhat. Let's make it a little exaggerated and hopefully gives us the best.
iPhone 17, the future in your hands.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I think I want it even slower than that though. Yeah, I would like that a little slower, or at least the gap between iPhone 17, the future in your hands. So let's go for something like this. And these dots do help to give you a gap.
iPhone 17, the future in your hands.
I like the pause. I like how the voice is softer. It's impactful. But I didn't like how he said in your hands. So generate one more time.
iPhone 17, the future in your hands.
Okay. All right. Yeah, one of those probably will do it for us. And there you have it. So those are basically all the voice clips that we're looking for. So we've done the image generations, we've done the video generations, and now we have the voiceovers. This is great. So now we're going to organize those voiceovers, pick the one that we want best for each scene, for each shot, and then ultimately take them and synchronize them so that they play together. And we're going to start getting into that phase very soon. So let's look at that in the very next video lesson. So at this point in time, we're going to start putting together, piecing together all the video clips using Canva. Now you can use CapCut as well, but we're going to use Canva and just start bringing our commercial video to life. So you're going to go to canva.com, click on create a design. We jump right into it. Click on video landscape, 1920 by 1080. That's a standard video size. And once you're here, go to your video clips that you've generated and edited in the past. So in my case here, I have all 9 of them because I have a 5 and 5A here. And then I'm just going to take them and drop them here. As you can see, it's going to indicate that it's uploading. And then at this point, we're going to start creating our video. Now, the other thing we need to add on here are the audio clips. So I have 8 of those. I'm just going to take those and drop them as well. So that's going to go under audio. As you can see, they're uploading fairly quickly. Okay, so as they're being uploaded, they're not necessarily in order, but that's fine. They are listed here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's all we want. Now let's start with the videos and start making our video. So now our first one is this one right here. So I'm going to take it, drop it here. expand it out, move on to the next one, and just keep building on that really. Make sure that you put them in order. So I'm just going to take the second one, which is this right here, and drop it down. Okay, that's ready. And then take the third one, which I believe, and you can always go back and verify, is the Milky Way one. Take that one, drop it here. That's a 10-second one. We might have to reduce that. Take the fourth one. Let's take the fifth one. And then I believe it's either I think it's the mountain one. Okay, and then we're gonna go for the gaming one. Pretty sure I have these in the correct order. Okay, and then we have the charging one. And finally, we have the final shot. Okay, so these are all the clips. And we're looking at about 51 seconds right now. We may increase or decrease that a little bit. All right, so now what we can do is we can start putting our voiceovers to align them. So we're going to go to our uploads, go to audio, and then just start grabbing each one. So I want the first one here, and I want it here.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Okay. So this one might not be 5 seconds. It looks like it'll just be like a
The
couple
future
seconds.
isn't coming. It's here.
Yeah, so you're going to bring that down to maybe like a little bit more than 2.3 seconds so that you can manage the transition, because we're going to have a transition here. Next, we're going to take the next clip, which is the second one. Okay, so we're aiming for about 5 seconds on that.
Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more.
Excellent. All right, so that's starting to take shape. The third one is right here. That's 7.5 seconds. So I'll probably end up reducing that down so that it aligns maybe a little bit over to 8. And let's take a look at how that's coming out.
A re-engineered 200
Hold on
A
there.
re-engineered 200 megapixel Pro Vision camera with AI enhanced night mode, because every shot should be picture perfect.
Okay. Sounds good to me. And then we're going to take our fourth one. So this one is 6.3 seconds. A little bit lengthy. We should have probably went on a 10-second for that one, but I'll show you a little trick that you can do here. So here's how this one will look.
A display so immersive, it moves at your speed, with a groundbreaking 240 Hz refresh rate.
So what you can do is you can adjust the speed on this to make it longer, or essentially I think we could just expand this out so that you can have more of it. So there's two ways to do this. You can either kind of like copy and paste it so that you're making more out of it, or you can click on edit here and then go to video speed, and then under video speed you can make that, just drop it down a little bit, so at 0.75. Here's how it looks like now.
A display so immersive, it moves at your speed, with a groundbreaking 240 Hz refresh rate.
So that's good. And it still looks fairly fast, so that's what we want. All right, next we want the fifth one, security redefined, connectivity limitless. So
Security redefined, connectivity limitless.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down because I'm gonna share this audio clip between these two. As you recall, we had a 5 and a 5A on that. So let's see how that looks.
Security
Let's go back here again.
rate. Security redefined, connectivity limitless.
Excellent. Okay, we can always fine tune and tweak them as we go along just for perfection. But yeah, now we move on to Power Beyond Imagination number 6 here. 4.7 seconds, that's pretty good. It's gonna flow well with the transitions.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
Beautiful. All right, next we have all day battery life. So we're gonna go here and take this one, drop that down.
All day.
Okay, let's move this way. And let's hear how this sounds over the clip.
All day battery life, 0 waiting.
Awesome. We can bring this down a bit. So I think we're probably gonna end up being closer to like 40 seconds on this, which is fine. It's a quick commercial.
Waiting.
Most commercials are around that length anyway. So then we have our final clip. Okay, beautiful. This is coming out really good. So we're going for, bring that over here. And let's see how that sounds.
iPhone.
Bring that back. And let's play.
iPhone 17. The future in your hands.
Excellent. Okay, so there you have it. We just put together all the audio clips, and you have a basic commercial right now that goes through each video scene with the voiceover that we generated with ElevenLabs AI. So that's the first step. The next step, I'm going to show you how to add effects, how to do transitions. So we'll look at that and we'll add it in the very next video lesson. So now what we're going to do is take it to the next step and add transitions and some animations. So let's look at how that's done. It's a pretty straightforward process actually. Let me bring that up a little bit. What we do is between each scene you have the option to add a transition. Okay, I think it gives it a more professional, polished look. So we also transition better in terms of the audio clips that are being added. So I'm just going to add a couple of transitions between them. For most of them, you want to use either dissolve or match and move. I wouldn't really recommend using the other ones. So we'll just add, again, choose between dissolve and match and move. Do a dissolve, and then I wouldn't make it a drastic transition. So right now it's at 0.5. I would suggest like a 0.2 or 0.25. Those seem to come out the best. So let's take a look at how this transition looks like.
The future isn't coming. It's here. Introducing the all-new iPhone 7.
So that came out really good, as you can see. So has a little bit of a transition, but not too much, and fits really well. So yeah, we're basically just going to add that onto the ones where we feel relevant. I think we're pretty much going to add them on most of them, if not all. So again, another dissolve at 0.25, and we'll do another one here, dissolve at 0.25. So let's see how these are coming out as we go along, just to ensure quality. All right, so click here.
More. A re-engineered.
Now you won't necessarily get the sort of final published view of how this is going to look like until you actually export it, because there's always a little lag here, so you got to kind of work around it, sometimes play it back.
Perfect. A display so immersive.
But these are coming out great, and the timing between them is perfect. So here, let's try a match and move on this one this time. Again, just bring it down to like 0.2 or 0.25, no more. So again, just check the quality of how these transitions are looking like as we're going along.
Hertz refresh rate. Security redefined.
Now, this is fine. Yeah, I think that will be okay. So let's play it
Breaking
again.
240 Hertz refresh rate. Security redefined. Connectivity limitless.
So I don't think I want to transition between these two.
Security redefined. Connectivity limitless.
Okay.
Security.
I want to bring this over a little bit there. Now let's try.
rate. Security redefined. Connectivity limitless.
Awesome.
Power beyond.
So these are shifting a little bit. You need to make sure that you adjust them accordingly. That can happen when you're adding transitions, so just make sure everything aligns. Have it fit well. We're at 40 seconds right now. Bring these so that they align properly. Add a transition here and do a dissolve. So we'll do it after the mountain. We'll put 0.2 on that. See how that comes out.
Limitless. Power beyond. Limitless. Power beyond imagination.
Excellent.
Fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. All-day battery.
Another transition. Match and move that. 0.2. And another dissolve here at 0.2. Okay. So as you're going along, just play it, see how it looks like.
Chip. Mobile chip. All-day battery life. Zero waiting. iPhone 17.
Okay, excellent. There we go. And then you can also have an ending transition. So the way you would do that is click on Add Page, as you can see here, and then just select the color. I recommend going with black, a black background. Make this so that it's just like a second or two, maybe a second and a half, no more than that. And you can add a transition to fade out and all that kind of stuff. So these are optional, but you know, you're going to want something where it leaves.
The future in your hands.
So that should look more like this.
Future in your hands.
So I want to add a transition and fade out. So dissolve seems good there. This one we can increase a little bit, maybe at 0.3. And let's bring this over here. Bring that over there. And see how that comes out.
In your hands.
Right, so there you go. You have a little transition.
Your hands.
Excellent. Beautiful fade out. Okay, so it's starting to take more shape now. The other thing that we can do is we can go back here and add some effects. We can add some animations. So let's click on this photo and click animate. And let's go back there, click on animate. And when you go down here, you can select from a number of animations. The ones that are suggested are either photo flow, photo rise, or photo zoom. Okay, so let's go with the photo zoom on that. It gives it a little bit of a nice touch to it. So now it's zooming in and the video is also alive. So
The future isn't coming. The future isn't coming. It's here.
now the other thing is we can also under animate, under photo zoom, you can do either on enter or on exit. So that's up to you. You can do on enter, you can do on exit. Let's try on exit and see how that looks.
The future isn't coming.
So
It's here.
I like that maybe.
The
So you
future
can
isn't
choose,
coming. It's here. Introducing.
or maybe more so, we could do both, or we could do on enter and see how that comes out.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Something
The
like
future
that.
isn't coming. It's here.
Yeah, so you could play around with it and see how you like this.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Okay.
Introduce.
All right, so you can also add those animations to anywhere else, but for the most part, all the other ones are okay. Maybe an animation here. It wouldn't be bad. I don't think this one is moving much. So let's play that again and see how it looks like. So as you can see, we're fighting. So let's play this clip right here.
Connectivity limitless.
I think it actually might be fine because it is already moving. So I think for now just that first one needed animation. So essentially that's how you go about adding transitions, adding some animations to your video to start giving it more of a professional, polished look. There's more things that we need to do, a couple more things. We're going to add background music, and then we're going to add some sound effects, and then we'll add not necessarily subtitles, but we'll add some text showing buzzwords here and there. So, and we'll also focus on selecting the correct font that matches, say, the iPhone genre's font defaults. So we'll go with that and talk about next steps in the next video lesson. Okay, so now we want to drop background music and add sound effects. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to Elements, and we're going to click on Audio. And then under Audio, you want to specify what type of audio you're looking for. So in my case, I want something cinematic, futuristic, right? Sleek. So I'm going to type that: sleek, futuristic, and cinematic. And enter that in. And then it gives you, things that match. So we can look at a couple of options. There are ones that are based on the pro version, but there are a lot of ones where you can select them and they're free, so you just got to kind of go through it. In my case, I have a subscription, but you also do have the 30-day free trial, as you may recall. So let's see. So that's too busy. That's too dark. I think that's too much also. No. Go with something that is more cinematic. So you got to play around with this a little bit and see what really resonates. It takes a couple tries to find what will be a good match, but it's guaranteed you'll find something. Alright, so we're gonna try here a little bit more. Let's see if we can find something. Keep trying. Now, another thing you could do is you could type in commercial, and that also gives you like commercial-based type of audios. So you can look at what will match. Now, this audio is going to be faint anyway. We're not going to make it loud, right? So you do have to keep that in mind. It sounds loud right now as we're listening to it because we're analyzing and selecting what we want. But ultimately, we want to have it so that you can hear it, but it's subtle. So here's one that actually says phone commercial. Let's see how that one sounds like. New age, film, TV, ambient, happy. That might be the one for us. It actually sounds great. I'll take it. I like it. So I'm going to drop this one here, and we're looking at 41.1 seconds.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Wow.
Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more.
It's practically perfect for what we're aiming for. So here's a couple things we're going to do. We can have a fade in, a slight fade in at 0.5. We also want to fade out at 0.5. So fade in and fade out. Also the volume. So I would bring this down fairly low. Again, we want it subtle. Try at maybe 20 and see how that sounds like.
The future isn't coming. It's here. Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more. A re-engineered 200 megapixel Pro Vision camera with...
Okay, so there you have it. So now what we've done is we've added background music, and it fits really well into the script. And now what you want to do is add some sound effects. So wherever it's necessary, you want to find things that make sense, okay? So for instance, here's a couple of things that we can do in terms of sound effects. I would suggest, for security, you can have some kind of security noise here. So security, for instance, okay, or unlock phone, maybe like an unlock phone noise or something. So you want to look and see if these things are available. Or some kind of security measure, right? So let's see how these sound like. It has to make sense, of course. So how about code unlocked or something like that? Let's see if it gives us a match. You got to play around with this a little bit and see if you can find something that, resonates. All right, so we keep trying here. Let's try digital beep. Let's see if anything here gives it to us. So it's a little too much. I want something simple. That's fine. Just like a little noise there indicating that, something was unlocked, right? So maybe something like that.
Security, redefined.
That's nice.
Connectivity.
Just a little sound effect there. Okay, cool. And then maybe here, oh, that's nice. So we could put like audio for the car. So let's say fast car. Okay. Effect. So let's see. Car speeding. Okay. Or something like that. See how that sounds like.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. All-day battery life.
All right, something like this might work. Gives it a nice effect, so let's put that here. Maybe put it somewhere in the middle. See how that sounds?
Limitless. Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. All-day
Now,
battery life.
might be better to put like a fast car noise, or car engine maybe. So let's see. Maybe a racing car pass by. So maybe something like that. We could probably mix it a little bit, so we can probably take like the racing car passing here with a little bit of so the way you would do that is you just take this, you double click and select what you want. So maybe something like here, starting here maybe, and shrink that down, and then you can shrink this down as well to kind of give it like a little bit of a hybrid noise between dragging and speed and all that. It's video game effects.
Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. All-day battery life, zero waiting.
Something to that nature. And we can have that fade out at 0.1, 0.5. So it sounds right. Okay, there you go. So just some sound effects.
Imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
Something to that
All-day
nature.
battery life, zero waiting. iPhone 17.
Okay, awesome. So maybe one other effect we can add is something relating to the iPhone. So I'm going to enter an iPhone here. Let's see what we got. So that's just someone pressing on the screen. Maybe something like that, like vibration. Would sound really neat. Let's see. Kind of like this one here. So let's see. We just want like a couple of seconds on that. Nothing too crazy. But we can also adjust the volume on it if it's too low, but let's see how it sounds like.
17. The future in your hands.
Let's see.
17. The future in your hands.
Yeah, so that's a little vibration effect. Optional, but in any case, that's how it's looking like, and that's how you add sound effects. So we added a couple of sound effects here, again, to give it more of a real feel, and also make it more fun, more appealing of a commercial. And yeah, at this point, we just need to add some buzzwords. So we'll look at that in the next video lesson and see how we can capture some further attention of consumers and viewers who are looking to ultimately purchase our product. Okay, so now for the final step, we want to add buzzwords throughout the scenes to give it a better feel, to give it a better look, make it more appealing to our consumers. So here's what I did. I went to ChatGPT and I prompted it as follows. I said, give me buzzwords for each scene I can add as text to the video commercial. So as you can see, it went ahead and did that. So for the opening shot, I'm going to go with the future, redefined. Okay, so just some buzzwords here, and then goes through some of the features. And then by the end here, the final one will say iPhone 17, the future in your hands. So I like this a lot. I'm going to go with what ChatGPT identified. So the first one is going to say the future redefined. Now the first thing we need to do is establish our font. So what you're going to do is go to the picture here and go to text. So I'm going to click on add a text box here and type in iPhone. And let me just make this a little bigger here so that we can see it. Because what we're trying to do is select the correct font. So this doesn't look like the Apple stylistic type of font. The one that goes by the name of, I believe it starts with H-E-L, Helvetica. Yep, Helvetica World is the one you want. Or there's another option called Enter. Let's look at both those options. So I want this to be Helvetica. And there are different ones actually of Helvetica. We're gonna go with Helvetica World, and as you can see, that looks a lot more like it. There's also the standard Helvetica. It all depends on what you want, but let's stick with Helvetica World. There's also Helvetica Now. So there are different options. It all depends on what you want, but these obviously look a lot more closer to the iPhone look. So we'll go with that. There's also Enter, which I'll show you. Enter looks fairly similar as well. So it's your choice. I'm just giving you options for font selection when it comes to whatever commercial you're going to create. So I'm going to go with Helvetica World for now. That's the font that I'm going to use throughout. And the first thing that I'm going to take here is the future redefined. And let's enter that in. So we're going to say the future redefined. These probably could be two separate texts, or what you could do, yeah, I would do them as two separate texts, and I'll show you why. So here I'll just put the future. I don't need the period. And here I'll put redefined. Something like that. Remove the period. And I want to make this smaller, so something like maybe say 75-ish. So the future, right? And then we'll do the same thing here. 75.5 so that they match. The future redefined. Okay. And we can also add effects to these, right? So if you want, you can animate and have them, come out a certain way. So we want something professional looking. I would say something like, all right, let's see, maybe something where it's coming up, like maybe baseline, or a fade is good. I think we're mostly going to use fades. They're probably the most professional. So the future, redefined, and we can also time these texts at the right moments. So you can take a look at how this looks like. So we have the future, and that should span out through the entire part here. So the future redefined.
The future isn't coming. It's here.
Redefined. Okay, so we have the future redefined.
The future isn't coming. It's here. Introduce.
Okay. And honestly, it's optional as to whether you want to use these texts or not. I think for the first scene, I'm not going to put any texts. I think I'm going to jump right into the second one. So I just was illustrating how to do it. So we're going to take this one and copy it and paste here, because I don't think it fits well for the opening scene. The second one says introducing the iPhone. Let's hear what it says.
Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who...
Yeah, so here I think we could have like a simple text that says iPhone 17. Okay, something like that. And we can have this fade in. We can have it fade in and fade out, in fact, if we wanted to. Both. So the iPhone 17.
Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more.
Yeah. So you don't want to put
a re-engineered 200 megapixel.
You don't want to put too much texts, but just a couple of buzzwords here and there. So here, let's see what we got.
Pixel Pro Vision camera with AI enhanced night mode.
So we'll put like 200 megapix camera. So we'll say something like this, 200 megapix camera, something like that. And then we'll say something about it being enhanced. I think it was AI enhanced night mode.
With AI enhanced night mode.
Yep. So just like buzzwords, AI enhanced night mode. So again, something here. And then these all have fades because I already created the first one with the features that I want.
A re-engineered 200 megapixel Pro Vision camera with AI enhanced night mode. Because every shot should...
So we'll just that down here. So as you can see, just a couple buzzwords.
Because every shot...
There we go. And then just kind of do that throughout. So here.
A display so immersive, it moves at your speed. With a groundbreaking...
So we can say something like fast refresh rate or something like that. Ultra responsive, anything like that. Or 240 hertz display. That's good. So we'll say 240 hertz display. Oops. So go here and type in 240 hertz display. Something of that nature will make sense. We'll put that like somewhere down here. Okay, so maybe bring that down a little bit so that it looks like this.
A display so immersive, it moves at your speed. With a groundbreaking 240 hertz refresh rate.
Maybe down here, since that's when it's mentioned.
Speed. With a groundbreaking 240 hertz refresh.
Right. So that wasn't timed properly, but it would sound like this. Something like this.
The groundbreaking 240 hertz refresh rate. Security redefined. Connectivity limitless.
Okay.
Power beyond imagination. Fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
Yep.
All-day
Okay.
battery life.
So we go here, and we can say enhanced Face ID, for instance, or something of that nature. So we'll copy this again. Enhanced security maybe is good. Enhanced security. We could change the font a little bit, make it a little smaller. They don't always have to be the same, but something like that would be good. Just keep it small. Okay, so enhanced security.
Security. Redefine. Connectivity.
And then we can mention something about connectivity as well. Always connected anywhere. The way that sounds is actually beautiful. So maybe we could do that. Always connected anywhere. So we click on this. And we say always connected anywhere. And here we can expand this out like that. Bring that down there like this. We'll say always connected anywhere. Something like that will look nice. And make that smaller. So here we go.
Connectivity. Limitless. Power beyond imagination.
Power beyond imagination. I like this, so an A18 Pro chip. Just something simple. So we'll mention that. It's good to specify details. So an A18 Pro chip. And you can make that a little bigger if you wanted to. And I wouldn't put it there, maybe somewhere around here. So we'll say something to the likes of 18 Pro chip. Make it a little larger too. Something like that. And again, maybe down here, introduce it. Play back.
Power beyond imagination. Fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip.
Awesome.
All-day battery life.
Okay, 50% in 10 minutes. All-day power. Okay. We can just say all-day power. I think all-day power would be good. So we'll just say all-day power. We're sticking to the same font, same color throughout, and we'll put that right here, maybe a little larger so it can be seen better. And we'll should be able to leave it at that. All-day power right there. And again, just bring that down a little bit. All-day power. I always introduce the scene, and then afterwards I provide the text because it provides more context as you go along.
All-day battery life. Zero waiting. iPhone 17.
Okay.
The future in your hands.
Okay, so iPhone 17, the future in your hands. That is such a powerful message at the end. And we will take that and put that here for our closing scene. We're going to copy it, drop this down here, and we're going to say iPhone 17, the future in your hands. Now, I do want to split this up again. So iPhone 17, the future in your hands. And say something like this, for instance, the future in your hands. And here I just want iPhone 17 listed, and probably bigger in this case, since we're closing here. Make it even bigger. So that one looks large, and then the other is just small. So I like that a lot. Looks like an Apple commercial. Okay, so iPhone 17, the future in your hands. See how that came out.
Waiting. iPhone 17.
I will change this a little bit in terms of timing. That is something I just forgot to do right now. I'll bring this maybe just a little out right here, and then the future in your hands will follow. All right, let's see how this looks. Right here. Bring it right there, and let's go.
iPhone 17. The future in your hands.
Good, but I want to push this out a little bit. Somewhere here. Because it does come later. Let's see. Nope. Play it back so that's accurate.
iPhone 17. The future in your hands.
Beautiful. My goodness. That is a beautiful commercial. And just to think, leveraged by AI. So here you have it. We now have our texts in place with all the buzzwords and proper marketing context for it, all the content that we require here to give it, you know, the right meanings for the right video shots, right scenes. So it's all there. We're looking at about a 41-second commercial video. And yeah, this is pretty much the end of this specific commercial video. I will now create it. So the way you go about doing that is go to share and then go to download and click on MP4 video, high quality, leave it at 1080 HD, print all the pages. You don't want to download them separately, and then just click on download and then let that basically download for you. So next, what you will see is the complete video. So take a quick minute to watch the final production that we've gone through in the course and just ponder on what was done and how it was done now that you've learned all the intricacies and all the different parts. And then afterwards, we're going to start focusing on creating a similar commercial video, more so an ad, for like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and things like that. Because the one that we developed right now is mainly for YouTube, or just a professional commercial that can be broadcasted on TV. However, I want to show you how to do Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, TikToks, for instance, and I'll show you how to create video ads and commercials for those next. And we'll focus on a service or subscription for our next video that we'll be creating with AI, instead of what we've done here, which is more so a product. So we'll look at that in the next section after you enjoy watching the final video production of the iPhone 17 commercial.
The future isn't coming. It's here. Introducing the all-new iPhone 17, crafted for those who demand more. A re-engineered 200-megapixel Pro Vision camera with AI-enhanced night mode, because every shot should be picture perfect. A display so immersive, it moves at your speed, with a groundbreaking 240 Hz refresh rate. Security redefined, connectivity limitless. Power beyond imagination, fueled by the world's fastest mobile chip. All-day battery life, zero waiting. iPhone 17, the future in your hands.
All right. Now, in the next section of our course, what we're going to focus on is a different project relating to video commercials and ads. This time, what we're going to do are as follows. We're going to create an explainer-based video ad where you yourself will be talking, except it's not going to be exactly you. It's going to be an AI version of yourself, also known as an avatar. Yes, that's right. We're going to create an avatar version of you. And we're going to try it out. and we're going to integrate it as part of your video advertisement. So this is going to be really cool. It's breakthrough technology using enhanced AI tools. So I'm very excited about how this is going to turn out for us and for you all to try it out. Additionally, this time we're going to focus on a service instead of a product. So in the last project in this course, we did the iPhone 17 commercial, and that came out great. It was a product-based commercial ad. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a service, okay, or a subscription. So that's going to be the focus this time. And then in terms of where this is intended to be posted for the first project, the iPhone 17 video, that was intended for YouTube or TV commercial broadcasting. Whereas this time we're actually going to focus on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikToks. And that requires a different aspect ratio. So this is more of a 9:16 aspect ratio as opposed to 16:9. So we're doing a couple of different things here. We're adding an avatar version of you. We're focusing on, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks, and we're also doing a service instead of a product this time. So this is for those who are intending to do that. It's tailored to whomever is seeking to produce such commercials in that niche with those kind of features. So we're focusing on different features to make the course as holistic, as wholesome as possible. So let's get started right away. The first thing is we're going to develop our script for the service or subscription. And we're going to start with a basic prompt in ChatGPT. And I'm going to just paste it and show you the model here. So what I'm going to ask for is as follows. Give me a topic for an explainer video ad. And notice how I said explainer video here, because we're seeking to include moments in the video ad, or majority really will be you speaking directly to the camera. We'll highlight some features of the service, but it's going to be you mainly speaking. So give me a topic for an explainer video ad relating to, and then you're going to enter the business idea. And then we're going to say, provide relevant and appealing information to be articulated during the video, presenting facts on why they should either purchase or subscribe to the service. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to fill in the business idea. I'm going to say relating to health and fitness, just because I'm a gym enthusiast and I also enjoy strength sports. So I'm going to go for something like that. And I can even niche it down a little more, relating to health and fitness, specifically strength training. Okay. Provide relevant and appealing information to be articulated during a video, presenting facts on why they should either purchase or subscribe to the service. So again, this is a service. They can either, purchase like a one-time or subscribe. So we can either give them two options, or we can have them do one. A purchase is usually like a one-time purchase. A subscription is that they come back every month, or they're subscribed to a plan where they're paying a certain amount every month for the service. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim for a subscription. The reason being is, for example, I'll do something like, like a 60-day trial. They'll try it out for 2 months, and then if they like it, then they can continue on with the service as long as they want. All right, so let's go ahead and enter this in. We may have to tweak it according to what we're aiming for. But as I'm going through this, you want to start thinking about how you want to do this for your video. Okay, so explainer video ad topic. Unlock your strength. Science-backed strength training for maximum gains. Okay, that's interesting. Educate viewers on why strength training is essential. Highlight scientific benefits. Promote a structured strength training program. Okay, so here is the hook, the first 5 seconds. What if I told you that just 3 hours a week could transform your body, boost your metabolism, and make you stronger than ever. And then the problem, most people focus on cardio, neglecting strength training, but did you know, and then I'll mention some of these facts here, the solution, what this program offers, so on, so on, so on, so on. Awesome. Social proof, real results, real people, a call to action. Awesome. So this is beautiful. We can go with this. And what I'm focusing on important is the subscription part. So it says, join today and take the first step toward the strongest version of yourself. Sign up now and get a free strength assessment. Okay, so we can do something like that, get a free strength assessment, or we could say sign up now and get a free month's trial. So I think I'm going to go for a free month's trial, but you can certainly do a free assessment or whatever it is that you want. So I'm going to update this. I'm going to say great, but update the call to action section to mention sign up and get a free 30-day trial instead. And then it's going to basically update that specific section only. Join today and take the first step toward the strongest version of yourself. Sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. No commitment, just results. So they'll get a chance to see how the 30 days is helping them significantly. It's helping their health. It's helping their strength overall. They're going to feel stronger. And through that 30-day, you'll be able to essentially bring them in, draw them into your program. And this is just a marketing tactic that I'm sharing as we're going through the course. But essentially, this is what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to say, give me the final and updated script, and I'll let that cook in the background. So now that we have our script, which was part of the AI generated content that was given when we were just creating this, we want to also get our video shots. And the reason why we want the video shot descriptions is because we're going to take these and essentially use them in Leonardo AI as we've done before. This time we're going to do a 9:16 aspect ratio and generate the required images that we're going to integrate into our explainer video ad. So again, most of the time you'll be talking, your avatar version of you, your AI version of you, but there's going to be parts where we're going to edit it so that there's clips of you kind of talking behind it and of you kind of speaking about the service, and then it will kind of transition between you speaking directly to the camera, your avatar that is, and then it going back and showing like clips of some of the potential benefits that the person would get if they subscribe to your service. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to drop this prompt here, and I'll share all these prompts as usual. And you're going to say, I want to generate video shots. No script, just video shots. Describe each shot in detail along with camera model, shot type, lens type. Then for each shot, provide a descriptive prompt, which will be used for AI image generation that includes these details. I'm going to add a little piece here that says, select only a few shots as this is intended to be an explainer video, which will highlight some of the benefits of the program. So I did want to mention that because I don't want it to give me like a ton of video shots. It's just going to give me the key ones. So the AI understood what I meant there, and it'll give me the shots accordingly with the shot type, lens, description. Again, all of this is per the film industry standards and how they explain and design their features. So here's the AI prompt for each, and this will allow me to generate the images I'm looking for. So the first one is the opening shot, talking about strength and focus. Second one is training in action, perfect form. So an athlete performs a clean and press showcasing explosive strength. Okay, the science of strength, muscle activation. So a scientific visualization of muscle activation, close-up of biceps, for instance. Personalized training, so app interface, a call to action, a transformation. Okay, so we have 5 key video shots in a 60-second duration. I think that's perfect, right? So we'll kind of just show those 5 video shots throughout. So this isn't going to be a very difficult project to put together. We just need to go to Leonardo AI and generate our 5 video shots, which we'll do in the next video lesson. And then afterwards, we create our avatar version of ourselves and create, or rather integrate the script that we already have into the avatar speaking program. And then after that, just take those and collectively start generating and editing, integrating those two together to make your final video. We will obviously need to take the video shots and bring them to life, so we'll have to give them motion, and we'll use the same program that we've used, Kling AI, to do that. And that's pretty much it, and we just put it all together. So yeah, stay tuned, and in the next upcoming video lessons, we'll start putting all these parts together and working towards our final video product here. Okay, so we move on to the next part, which is taking the video shots. We'll start with that, and we'll generate the images for them. This is fairly quick to do, so we already have the prompts right here, and we just basically take the prompt for each and go to Leonardo AI and generate our images. Now, we've already done this with the iPhone 17 commercial, and as you can see, the photos came out great. But just to quickly refresh and recap, these are the settings that you'll want. So you'll want the lifelike vision model, so make sure you select that. You can certainly try other ones as well, but for the purpose of the commercial that we're aiming for, we're going to go for lifelike vision. We want something hyper realistic. The style is cinematic. You can choose between cinematic and cinematic close-up. I kind of switch back and forth between these depending on the requirement. Contrast is medium, that's fine. You can do fast generation if you want something quick, and the quality is still fairly good, but I'm going to go for higher quality. Now, importantly here, I'm going to go for more, okay, for the image dimensions. You can select from a variety of different images. And again, because we're aiming for Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikToks, you want to go for a 9:16 aspect ratio. So I'm going to click on more. And as you can see here, I can select from some of these different options. Now, it's based on width and height, basically. Now, Instagram is interesting because Instagram has 2 options. You have the 4:5 aspect ratio, which is more for a post, and then you have the 9:16, which is more of an Instagram reel. For marketing purposes, I think you're going to want to go for a reel. So that's the same standard aspect ratio that synchronizes with TikTok and YouTube Short standards, which is going to be this one right here. So you're going to select actually the TikTok 9:16, and that aspect ratio will be compatible with Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts as well, because they're the same. It's the same standard. So definitely click on this TikTok 9:16. You can also click on mobile 9:16. It's the same thing. But yeah, one of these 2 will suffice. And just close that out. Make sure you do select that image dimension if you're aiming for Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or TikToks. And you can cross-post when it comes to marketing, obviously. So it's a good idea to post across all of those platforms. And it's a good way to grow your audience and your followers. So the number of images that I'm going for are 8. I'm aiming for more. You can certainly try less. It all depends on what you have. I think if you have the free trial, you'll only be able to do 4, which is okay. You can keep doing them in iterations of 4, but I'm going to do 8. I want more. To me, I feel like it saves time. And that's pretty much it. In advanced settings here, it's going to default to Leonardo Vision XL. Keep that. And then I would suggest keeping this on if you want. You don't have to, but it gives it more of a hyper-realistic photo. So we want that. And that's pretty much it. So these are all other optional settings that we're not going to be using right now. All right. So now let's take our first prompt. So the prompt is here. It's this guy right here. You don't want the quotes. Won't hurt if you capture them though. And copy it. So we're aiming for a detailed cinematic medium close-up of a muscular athlete gripping a heavy barbell. So we do want a cinematic close-up here, as the prompt says. So I'm going to paste this. And then what I'm going to aim for is cinematic close-up in this case. And let's generate that. It's going to generate 8 images and give us what we want. So that's our first one. Move a little faster here. Let's grab the second one while the first one is loading, just to have that ready. So we copy that. Okay, so that generated fairly quickly. A lot of them are explicit. Let's click to view how they look like and see if any of them make sense. And the reason why it says explicit is because some of them may not make sense. So, you know, some of them could even look disturbing. And some people might not be comfortable with seeing stuff like this, right? Seeing an arm going into one of the weight bars. So that's not fun to see for many people. But others don't mind it. If you're a content creator, then this is not a problem. So far, I think the ones that I like that we may be able to use is something like this. It's an option, or this one. Okay, so a really strong looking person. I think the one that I like the most so far is this. It looks most realistic at this moment. So I may end up going with that. And as you can see, the aspect ratio is 9:16. I could also just go back and regenerate, but anything just depicting what we're aiming for is fine, right? So here we have a heavy barbell in a modern gym. They didn't necessarily give us a barbell in that case. So if you want, you can regenerate. You know, I'll do it just for the sake of doing it. But, you know, you don't have to. If you find something that's sufficient that'll work for you, then just certainly go with it. But in this case, I'll just quickly regenerate, see if we get better options. And that's really normal for, you know, when you're dealing with AI. Okay, so once you're happy with that, move on to the next one after you've selected your first video shot. And in our case, we are taking the one where we're aiming for strength training in action, perfect form. So this is intended to show a dynamic full body shot of a strong athlete executing a clean and press lift with perfect form. Okay, this is highlighting their muscles and so on. Now, the cool thing about this kind of video ad is you don't really need to focus on character consistency. You know, you can have different characters. In fact, for marketing purposes, it's good to show results of multiple successful folks, right? So it's good to show different people have been able to succeed and gain the results that they want through your program. So I think that's fine. So let's generate that and see what that gives us, and grab the next prompt. We have a total of 5, so this is moving fairly quickly here. All right, so for our second video shot, here's what we have. We have a couple options. I think the best ones that I'm finding are this one is nice, has a nice atmosphere to it, and then we can also go for this one, so we can select between one or the other. Okay, so let's move on to our next one. Gave that a couple of shots. Now the next one is going to be the science of strength, as we said. So we're just gonna take that. I already have it copied, and we'll paste it. So here we want a highly detailed macro shot of a bicep. So this doesn't necessarily have to show the person's face, but more so just, you know, their bicep, and you know, a shot of that while they're doing some strength training workout. So let's see how this one comes out. And in the meantime, we'll grab our fourth one, which is focused on personalized training for the app interface. This is good too. So this helps market your service and gives them the message that there is a personalized workout app where they can look at their customized exercises and their personal plan in general. All right, so we have those generated. Some of them came out a little disoriented, but others I think we can make use of. So I know this one looks strange, but we can actually end up cropping this so that it takes, for instance, like this kind of space. So we can basically crop it out so that it takes that image right there, a close up on the bicep. I think this one looks great. So we will download that. And likewise, we can probably consider this one as well. where we could probably crop it here, zoom in on the image and maybe do something like that. Or maybe even something like down here and just come up here like that, something like that. So I'll download this as well. Yep. So for the case of what we're trying to do here, this will work because we're aiming for, a very close-up shot of the bicep contracting. So that's fine. Okay, so now we move on to the next one. And it's good that you diversify the characters in your video ad because you want to appeal to the greater market. So in this case, I'm going to select, I know I have an over the shoulder shot of a fitness enthusiast. I'm going to mention a female fitness enthusiast interacting with a high-tech fitness app on their smartphone. So this is good. Let's go ahead and generate that. And after this, we should only have one more, which is the final scene here, the call to action, the transformation. So these video shots, again, they're key video shots. They'll only be played briefly throughout the 60 seconds, but it's mainly going to be the explainer video, the avatar mainly doing the work. All right, so I gave this one a couple of attempts. You could try it as many times as you wish. But yeah, I found a couple that I think I can use. I think this one is decent. I could probably crop this one out a little bit. Don't need to show the whole thing. So we'll take that one. I think this one was all right as well. So potentially. You can save them and then for later decide on what you want to do. And I thought this one was pretty good too. So I can just crop this out here just to show one phone, not both. So as you can see, there might be a little bit of editing, minor editing, but nothing too crazy, mainly just cropping out and just to make sure that it fits a 9:16 aspect ratio. But that's it. So now we go to our final video shot and paste. This one's going to be tough, honestly. I think this is going to be a difficult one for AI because we're doing a split screen transformation shot, a before and after. We'll try to do that. There's two ways to go about doing this type of shot. You can generate them in pieces, which I think is probably the preferred way to do it, and then just kind of merge them in imaging software like Canva or CapCut. The other way is to just hope that AI gives it to you on the first shot, but AI is still in development, obviously. There's a lot of nuances, so it's not guaranteed that you'll get the shot that you want. But let's see what it gives us. All right, and here are some of our results. You can, again, try as many times as you wish. I gave it a couple of goes, not many, but I was actually able to find one or two that I think will work. I think the best option from the ones generated is this one. It keeps the character looking the same for the most part, but the body, you have a before and after. You have a body that isn't as shaped, and then the body on the right is much more shaped. So it shows the progression. There's a little bit issue with the belly button situation there, but that can easily be fixed with Canva or CapCut or one of the the image editing softwares. So I'm gonna go with this one for that scene, and that essentially is our last video shot. So there you have it. We were able to get our 5 video shots real quick. We made it happen, a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do now is take those video shots, do a little bit of cleaning up on them as we did in the previous commercial script with the iPhone using Canva, and then after that we'll take those, we'll generate them, make videos out of them, and then we'll also start looking at the avatar, creating our own avatar soon as well. Okay, now that we have our images, I've narrowed it down. Here are the 5 video shots that I've selected. You want to do the same. Make sure that you essentially create a folder for this and put all your candidates in one folder, and then pick the one that fits best with your video shot, with your script. So I've done that for the 5 video shots that I'm looking for. You're going to go to Canva again, and then under Canva, go to create a design. You can customize this. There's also a way where you can just, enter in like Instagram. And you could do like a Instagram post. You could do an Instagram reel. But I would suggest just go to custom size. You can click on social media also. It'll give you you know, like a story or what have you. But I suggest going with custom size because we're doing a photo, not a video. And then just make sure that it matches the dimensions. So these are 1256, 2240. So 1256, 2240 pixels, create new design, grab my 5 images, take them and drop them down. So this part we've already done in the previous video, but we're just dealing with a different aspect ratio. And I do want to highlight, you know, how we're going to go about editing these real quick. So these edits will be very fast. It's going to be a little different in the sense that we're going to be doing mainly cropping. I don't think this one actually needs any updates, so I'm going to leave that one as is. So the first one is ready. The second one, let's take a look at it here. Maybe make a quick improvement, but let's see. So for the second one, what I'm thinking is I want to get rid of this hand. If you look at it, to me this hand looks a little strange, right? He's holding it in a very weird way, but the image shot is great. I also feel like I can get rid of this extra clothing here. So a little bit of tweaking we can do. So let's do a couple things. Let's go to Magic Eraser, just zoom in here, and get rid of that part. So bring that down like this, and just get rid of the area that looks extra. You don't want extra clothing there, that's unnecessary. So maybe something like that. Let's see how this will come out. You know, nothing too crazy, but let's see what that gives us. Okay, so it looks a little better. Maybe go over that once more, because you don't really need all that extra clothing. Okay, so erase that. And let's see how that comes out. So that looks way better. Now it just looks kind of like a shadow. So that's not too bad. So that's one thing. The other thing is I would like to, again, just kind of cover that arm or that hand really. So maybe something like this. Except also we want to bring them down. So maybe something to that effect. You know, it's a nice close-up. It'll look good in the video once we do it. So let me bring this down a little bit more. I think something like that. And just expand this out a little bit. Make sure it flushes. Yeah, so to me, that looks good. You know, it's a nice close-up there. Very confident, holding a lot of weight. So I think this looks really good. So we can download that and save it as a PNG. So the next one will be, I can delete that now, our image here. So this is for our third scene, I believe. And for this, we just need to get in a close-up here. So it's a good image, but we just want to close in on it a little bit. So maybe something like, let's see here. Something like that maybe. You know, like a really strong close-up, focused in. I want to see maybe if we can get more, you know, bicep, but at the same time I don't want to compromise the face. So I think overall this would be fine. Just like that. Just a nice close-up. So as you can see, we took an AI image and we enhanced it. Yeah, no, I think it looks like a natural photo. So very hyper realistic. Download that. Oops. So you need to make sure that you cover the space here. So let me re-download that. That was a mistake on my end. That's no problem. So download there. Okay, so next, let's go for our next image, which would be this one. There's not a lot of edits to do here. Mainly it's cropping. So here I want to, again, zoom in a bit. Just bring that over like that. Maybe zoom in a little more. And something to the likes of, you know, something like this. That looks pretty good to me. yeah, so I think this is great, just as is. Yeah, looks good. Again, very natural looking photo. And finally, let's grab our last one. Let's delete that. And this one just has a quick edit to it. I think it was just a belly button that we didn't like. So he has 2 belly buttons. I think we want to get rid of that. So we'll keep this one, get rid of that one. I think that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay, so edit, magic eraser, and yeah, just get rid of this. Right there. Erase. Looking good. There we go. Lot better, a lot better. And that's it. So we will take this and download it. And now we have our 5 video shots that are ready for video generation. So next video lesson, we'll generate these videos real quick and start using them.